Well, morning, peeps. This time last year we didn't really have decent lawnmowers, and we went all summer long with weeds just dang near to our head in most parts of the yard. And I was hell bent, determined that I was gonna have a lawnmower working this year. And I'm just too old to be pulling strings and trying to crank a dang gasoline mower. And there's just a lot of maintenance issues with gasoline mowers. And so I chose to go with electric. Once I chose with electric, then I said, okay, what can I go with? I can go with the Ego, and it was like a $600 machine. Just the machine. Okay, not counting the weed eaters and stuff to go with that battery system. So, and that was quickly crossed off. Oh, thought about robot mower. That'd be kind of cool. I couldn't obviously mow 3 acres with a robot. Well, I guess I could if I had enough money for a robot. But if I had enough robot, I definitely could do that. But most of the robots I've seen can only mow somewhere in the neighborhood of an acre and a half to or less. So I said, well, the robot's out of the question. So I started looking at more practical ideas, and I ended up at Harbor Freight, and I ended up at Atlas. And I kept looking at the Atlas plan, and I said, you know what? That's a good system. They're a dual voltage system, and if you know anything about electronics and electrical, then you know that the amperage voltage thing is a ratio, and generally the higher the voltage, the lower the amperage need, and vice versa. The lower the voltage, the higher the amperage. Generally, the way it works. So the Atlas system is a 4080 system, and that is the system I decided to go with. Was the Atlas battery system. I couldn't buy the big batteries that I wanted because they're $250 a piece or thereabouts. So that's kind of out of the question. The batteries of any of these electrical systems are going to be your money. That's where your money's going to be at. The Hart system that I haven't gotten rid of yet because I have the Hart driver, the Hart drill, the Hart chainsaw, all that stuff I think works. And they have 6 amp hour batteries. He decided he's going to start barking because I'm making a video. Anybody need them? No, never mind. Anyway, the Hart system is a 6 amp hour battery that I want to get for that. But those batteries, 2 of them is $200. And right now, I don't have $200. This time of the year, it's tax time, tax refund time. And I got other sources of funding, so I was kind of flush with cash. For a poor man, I was kind of flush with cash. If you got a decent income and you got credit cards, the $6,000 I basically had ain't much money to most folks, and it really isn't that much money even to me. But I was able to get into a lawnmower, and I was able to get into a weed eater using the Atlas system. So now, without further ado, we shall unbox the lawnmower, which shouldn't be hard to unbox and put together because it's designed to be portable and fold up and all that other stuff. So basically, it should be just taking it out of the box, taking all the plastic and foam, styrofoam and stuff off of it, and there you go. Put batteries in it, and it should go. You don't have to change oil, you don't have to put oil in it, don't have to do none of that stuff. You should be able to take it out of the box and get it running. Let's see how close I am to that. So, like I was saying, this is the 40 volt equipment, and this is the 80 volt equipment. I'm got the 80 volt. I may have the 40 volt. I'll have to look because one's orange and one's black. I think I've got the 80 volt. And then the lawnmower, I want the chainsaw. Huh. There's 2 different lawnmowers. I got the self-propelled lawnmower. Supposed to have anyway. I didn't realize that they had two different lawnmowers. But I think I have the self-propelled one. Uh, that's quite interesting. I didn't know all this. They've got the 18-inch, which is on the 80 volt, and they got the 16 inches, which is on the 40 volt. But it uses the same battery system. I want one of these pole saws too. All right, let's see what we got going on. All right, so with the box just opened, this is what I've got right here on the top. Is the good old instruction manual. Which, like I said, I didn't realize there was two different lawnmowers. But I've got I was supposed to have the self-propelled one. That's the only one I knew about. I didn't know about one that wasn't self-propelled. They don't tell me how much that thing was. But anyway, here we go. We have everybody's favorite, the grass catcher. Now, my understanding is this lawnmower is a 3-in-1. You can side discharge, you can mulch, and you can catch grass. Oh, let me go ahead and see what else we got going on here. So straight out of the box, that's what it looks like. It comes with a steel deck. Yeah, it looks like a sheet metal, but it's steel deck. Still have a little bit of wrapping on it. But my understanding is you basically just pull this handle up, it locks in place, and you're ready to go. Minus the batteries, of course. Then I think, yep, you can stick 2 batteries in it. So, okay, let me go ahead and do some more unwrapping. Alright, so there is some assembly required. This obviously don't go there. It goes over on the side if I want the side discharge, which I don't see no reason for not to be side discharge, but the missus may want to collect grass clippings, when she has actually got her composting going. Got a little piece of shrink wrap right there. Let's see if I can get that off without tearing something up. And then I got tag right here. Before starting, set speed controller to the lowest setting. User may feel subtle loss of power in our power surge while batteries switch. Alright, so it rolls on one battery at a time, but you put 2 of them in there. And, okay, so they're not running in any kind of special circuit, apparently. Just got one on reserve, so when you're switching batteries, apparently it switches automatically. Oh, come here, string. Let's go ahead and take that off. Yeah, the handle needs to be assembled. Alright, I can't get that plastic to do what I want it to do. Okay. Alright, so there's not going to be a bolt system in this thing. You got to pull a lever. Yeah. I have a feeling that's not what I want either. Let's go ahead and do the middle one. It's got a adjustment there on that handle, depending on your height where your hands are sitting, so to be comfortable. All right, that works too. And like I said, so far I haven't needed no tools. Let's take it apart and put it together. Here's your setting. Oh, that's nice and easy to use. One-handed holding the camera all the way up to 4. Then, like I said, you got this. Not exactly sure how that works. I probably will have to read the instruction. And then I put the handle on. The handle is, there's the knob for the handle right there. So, all right, let me put this thing together. Okay, so like the box says, or somewhere I read, it's not supposed to fold up for storability. This boat has got a big old fat boat like that, a nut on there like that, but it's got double threaded so that you don't have to take the nut all the way off so to put it together. So anyway, you got the little clip for your cord, and got one there, but nothing fits in it that I can see. Anyway, do like that, and then you put this little nut onto that like that. Well, can I do it one-handed? Probably not. Okay, I can't do it one-handed. Okay, so assembly is quite elementary. It's not hard to figure out. I have a feeling I didn't put the cable in there just right, but oh well. It these little wing nuts here are kind of thumb nuts. What they are, they're kind of tricky. But once you get them on, I don't think you ever have to take them off. Of course, you have your safety feature. You got that bar, okay, and this is your. Let's see what you have to do here. To start, set speed control to low setting. Press and hold power switch. Hold bell control, which this is the bell bar. Bell control bar against handle. Release power switch. So this is an interlock system. Okay, that's a safety feature. Hold drive control bar against handle and adjust speed. And that's this bar. Alright. Well, so far it looks like a pretty decent mower. All your controls seem to work pretty good. Let's see here. More trash. And that's what the blade looks like. Looks like a fan for the motor. So, there we go, guys. I don't know why they ain't come up with a robot yet. This platform would probably work for a robot. It's a very simple adjustment setting connection for the height control. And the only thing I haven't quite figured out yet is the catcher. Let me give me a second here. Because our yard is so tall, I don't want a bag yet. Alright, so that appears to be the way you set that up for side discharge. You lift this one up, and that piece, there's a silver bar under there, and this piece clips under that silver bar. Real simple. Alright, so far, everything seems to be quite usable. Like I said, this is the highest setting, and that's the lowest setting. But I got so many weeds, my grass is so thick, I think we'll go with I don't know, let's go with a 3. I might go with a 2. I don't want to go with a 1. Let's go with a 3. Oh, you go all the way up to 7. Alright. Yeah, you can go all the way up to 7. Now that's a lot of height right there. Yeah, you can get way under there. You can almost put the house under there. Alright, so let's go with the 3. Let's stay with the 3. Now, the difference between this and a gasoline mower is you put batteries in it and you're ready to go. Now, let's take a look at the battery compartment. Because I saw a red thing in there. Let's see what this is. Alright, so this looks like... so it don't move. Yeah. I just now heard you. Alright. Alright, so I think that's a disconnect. Alright, so like I said, you got springs, makes it easier to take the batteries out of the compartment. Alright. Well, after breakfast, we'll see what happens. Yeah. Let's see what we can do here. Breakfast time. Alright, so I'm going to make another clip. Then I'm going to put you on a tripod. But I'm looking at this, and this red key is a safety key. So if you had kids or stuff like that, then you'd want to disconnect that key. For anti-theft, you would just take that little string cord off of there and take it out. It'd be like having a key in your pocket. And nobody would want to steal it, right? Until they figured that system out. But now, like I said, the battery, this is the $140 battery here. The other battery that's bigger than this, amp-wise, it is 250 or close to it. So anyway, my understanding is we did put it in like that. And there you go. I should have a lawnmower now. And let's set you up on a tripod. I'll mow some grass out front. Got a lot of junk in the way back here in the back. So the backyard needs to be mowed too. But I got a lot of junk back here that needs to be thrown away. So let's do what we can here. I'll set you up on a tripod. Now another thing it has, like I said, it's a three-way machine. So what you have is there's your cutting heights from 1 3/8 up to 3 3/4. And meets all your safety requirements, of course. You got 24 foot-pound of torque on the blades, your 80-volt battery. Anyway, inside here is a piece for mulching. I don't think I actually need that. I don't think I have to remove that to mow, because I got to sit off a side discharge. But if you're using the bag, you would want to take that out, obviously. So we'll see what happens here. Alright, so I'm going to mow towards you. That'd be a way of kicking the debris out into the driveway. Alright, so that battery's been down a bar, and this battery is still 4 bars, so I'm guessing it's pulling off that battery first.